Hey guys, today we're going to talk about quadrilaterals. So a quadrilateral is a polygon that has four sides. That's all it is, quadrilateral, four sides. That's exactly what it means. Lateral is Latin for sides, quad is four. Okay, now there's certain kinds of trapezoids, or I'm sorry, quadrilaterals. One of them is a trapezoid. That is a quadrilateral with one set of parallel sides. Okay? So you should know each one of these. So a trapezoid looks something like this, as long as these two sides are parallel, and remember those little arrows mean that those are parallel sides. It can be something that looks like this. As long as it's got one set of parallel sides, it's a trapezoid. Some books will say at least one pair of parallel sides. Okay, a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with two sets of parallel sides. So it's going to look like this. It's going to have parallel sides here. It's going to have a different set of parallel sides here. Okay, two sets of parallel sides is a parallelogram. Then we have something called a kite. A kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of equal sides. Now, you could have something like this. Two pairs of parallel sides. That looks like a kite. That's why they call it a kite. But a square would be a kite because it has two pairs of equal sides as well. Okay, a rectangle is a parallelogram with four 90-degree angles. So this is a special parallelogram. I mean, it's definitely got parallel sides here and here, here and here, but it has four 90-degree angles. And that's all you really need. You just need to have this. Okay? A rhombus is a parallelogram that has four equal sides. It's actually a kite with four equal sides. So you tend to draw them, they look like a diamond. Okay, they look kind of like this. Oh, that's terrible. Here, let's do this. I think I got a kite up here. I always have a hard time drawing kites. Here's a kite. Okay, it's got four equal sides. So now, your parents always teach you, or very often teach you, that four equal sides makes it a square. That is not a square. Okay, four equal sides is a rhombus. A square is a parallelogram with four equal sides and four 90-degree angles. So that's much more restrictive. Okay, so it's not only a rhombus, but it's also a rectangle. So it looks like this. It's got four 90-degree angles and four equal sides. So here's what we have. We have this chart right here. We have all the quadrilaterals. Okay. All these things have four equal sides, so they're all quadrilaterals. You have trapezoids, which have one pair of parallel sides. You've got parallelograms, which have two pairs of parallel sides. Then you've got kites, which have no parallel sides, but they in themselves, but they've got two sets of equal sides. These sides and these sides. Okay, now a rectangle. So they must be using the definition here that a trapezoid has at least one pair of parallel sides. It could have two because they have a rectangle is listed as a trapezoid, and it's also a parallelogram. Okay. A rhombus is a parallelogram that is also a kite. And then a square is a rectangle that is also a rhombus. So a square is all of these things. You could make a Venn diagram with this, where you had all your quadrilaterals right here. And then some of those quadrilaterals would be, let's see, next we had trapezoids. So we had trapezoids. It's actually a pretty complicated one to draw. And then you had, and this should actually be bigger than the, wow, let's go ahead. And then you've got parallelograms. So here's parallelograms. And then these things in here would be rectangles. And then you've got kites that kind of, oh man. Let's see, kites would go, they would be parallelograms. And this would be kites. And parallelograms and kites, these would be rhombuses in here. And then these that are all of those things are going to be squares. So it's a pretty difficult Venn diagram to draw. Very complicated. Okay, so here's the theorem. You should know this. The angles of a quadrilateral always add up to 360 degrees. Okay, so keep that in mind as we look at this quadrilateral right here. So we know that this has 360 degrees. There's 115 of them here. So we're going to take 360, we're going to subtract 115. So that's going to leave me with 245. There's 75 of them right there, so we're going to subtract out 75. That leaves 170 of them. I subtract out 70 right there, that leaves 100 degrees, which must go right there. That's 100 degrees right there. So we know that x is 100. How do we know that a quadrilateral has 360 degrees? It's very simple. I can take any old quadrilateral like this. Okay, I can divide it up like this. We already know that there's 180 degrees in every triangle, so there's these three angles right here add up to 180. And these three angles right here add up to 180. And these three angles plus those three angles make the four angles of the quadrilateral, and so that's 180 plus 180, which makes 360. Okay, now you do these, find x here and find y right there. Pause the video and then check back when you're done and see what you got. Okay, so again, there's 360 degrees. There's 200 of them right there, and there's 80 right there. So I can, those are already used up. I can go ahead and subtract 280. That leaves me with 80 degrees. That goes right here. Now you might know, this is a parallelogram right here. These two sides are parallel, those two sides are parallel. Look at this, 100 and 100, 80 and 80. These two angles are always equal. Those two angles are always equal. Now this one you don't get that luxury because this is just an ordinary quadrilateral. All you know is it has four sides. You don't know anything about the angles other than they add up to 360. So I'm going to go ahead and take 360. And I know that there's 90 of them right there, so let's take 90 out. That leaves me with 270. There's 124 right there, so we'll go ahead and subtract those. That leaves me with 146 degrees. 81 of them are right there. I'll go ahead and subtract that. That leaves 65 degrees. That's got to go right there. Okay, so y is 65. All right, draw a parallelogram with a 60-degree angle and a 120-degree angle. All right, so again, this is going to be easiest if you just start out with a ray. Okay, take your protractor line up this spot with the corner right here, and we're going to make a 60-degree angle. Okay, so my 60-degree angle is right here. Go ahead and put that there. We'll make a ray that goes from here. So now I've created a 60-degree angle right there. Okay, now what I'll do is I will take this and move my protractor up here onto that dot, and I'm going to rotate this thing so that I can line up this side right here at that corner. Okay, now I need to make a 120-degree angle here, so I'm going to count from the inside. I'm going to use the inside because I've lined it up with this side of my figure here, and I'm going to go 120 degrees. So 120 degrees is going to be right there, and I'm going to go ahead and from here I'm going to make another ray like this. So I've created a 120-degree angle right there. Okay, now I'm going to take my protractor. I'm going to go down here again, and I'm going to just pick a spot. It doesn't matter where. I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. And I'm going to move my protractor right under there. I'm going to measure. Now this angle is 120, so this has got to be 120. So I'm going to measure a 120-degree angle from here because I've lined it up with this side. So 120 degrees would be right here. Okay, and now I can get this out of the way, and I can line this up with that. And now I've made a 120-degree angle here, which means that this has got to be 60 because that's all that's left. And my parallelogram is going to be right here. And I'm done. I have a parallelogram. It's got two 60-degree angles, got two 120-degree angles. Okay, you're going to get to do problems 1 through 29 odd. I will see you guys in class. Have a great evening.